Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host, Scotty McCoy, and boy, do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now Steve Blackwood, and he played Bart in Days of Our Lives. Hey, Steve, how you doing today?
Good, Scotty. How you doing, man?
I'm so glad to have you on. I know we've been talking about making this happen, and you reached out to me. You're like, "Are we going to make this interview happen?" I'm like, "Absolutely."
Yeah, man. That's so great. You've been going since 2016. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Absolutely. So the first question I do got for you, how did you get your start into acting?
Well, I wasn't going to be an actor. I was I was going to college for journalism, and I took this introduction to acting class. And I did this scene from a Tennessee Williams play, and everybody applauded. And I realized that not only everybody liked me, but I liked myself being an actor. I enjoyed it. I felt comfortable on stage, and I knew I found a home because I was trying other careers. I was trying to be a writer. I was like journalism, as I said. I was just a kid in college, and this I felt like, wow, I'm home. You know, after I heard that first applause. And how I got started as an actor in I graduated, moved to New York, studied with the great Uta Hagen, great acting teacher, and started doing off-Broadway plays, off-Broadway, off Broadway. And then my wife and I got married, and I wasn't being real successful getting film stuff. And she goes, "Well, there's more film stuff in LA. You always wanted to do TV and film. Let's go." So we did, Scotty. We got into the car, and that was the honeymoon from New York to LA. And I started doing bit parts. And all of a sudden, a casting director saw me doing a play. Plays are good to do for an actor.
Yeah.
Her name was Frances. I forgot her last name, but she was lovely. And she cast me as for a 3-day role on Days of Our Lives.
Nice.
And I was Stefano. You guys all remember Joe Muscolo, Stefano on Days of Our Lives? I was his minion for 3 days. We were building a secret room for Crazy Susan. Eileen, Eileen.
Eileen Davidson.
Davidson was playing that part. And I decided to make this henchman, Bart, into a comic character. So I started giving some takes. I mean, because my heroes were Jack Lemmon, Peter Sellers, funny people.
Yeah.
And I made this henchman, instead of saying, "Yes, sir," "No, sir, I'll go do it, sir." I made him like not the sharpest knife in the drawer. And it turned out I spent 10 years on the show doing that. And Teo, by the way, who you had on the show, Teo Penglass, who played Tony DeMera and Andre, loved it. He loved to do the straight man stuff with me. And I made that character from a bit player from temp to perm. So nice. That's the short story. That's the Reader's Digest version of how I got started.
Nice. Yeah, I'm actually watching old episodes of Days. I don't know where I found them at, but I found like from the Salem Stalker storyline. It's my favorite storyline. And every time you're on the screen, you have me dying laughing.
Oh, that's great. That's really great. And you know something? I would go to these fan events, as Bart and as Steve, not Bart. And they would come up to me because I kidnapped Bo in one of those storylines where Princess Gina. Remember the Princess Gina storyline? Way back when, with Christian Alfonso as Hope. And I kidnapped Bo and I hung him up in the warehouse, and there was, and I lit the fire and everything. And these fans would come up to me and say, "You're mean. You hurt Bo. You almost lit him on fire." And they were serious. They weren't kidding. And I said, "It's just playing a character." Right? Right?
Yeah. Well, it's strange because Camila Banus, who plays Gabby DeMera on the show, she I don't, a couple of years ago now, she was getting death threats for her character being this villainous.
Right. Exactly.
She's like, "Why am I getting death threats? I'm just an actress.
I'm just an actress." Right. It's like, these fans are very, God bless them, but they're very rabid fans. They're very into it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they take things personally.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of, it was very fun. They're not all like that, but there was a few of them that were really like, you know,
Absolutely.
they were genuinely angry that, you know, and like she said, you know, I'm just doing my job. I
Right.
was a villain on the show.
Yeah. So what was it like being a part of the Salem Stalker storyline where, you know, or Marlena was brainwashed by Tony and all that?
It was a lot of fun. I Marlena, Deidre
Yep.
Hall loved to, like, I had a good time, and I always have a good time working with Tony with Teo Penglass. But she loved to, like, you know, have these crazy storylines like that where she gets brainwashed, or when she's like, you know, the first Exorcist storyline, the first time they did it,
Yep.
you know, where she was on the bed and everything.
Yep.
And then one time she played the goofy twin Hattie. Remember that?
Yep. Yep.
And she loved doing comedy. She really secretly was a comedian, and she loved doing that too. What bored her, I think, was doing the same Marlena and John stuff. She loved to do, you know, things where she gets brainwashed.
Yeah.
She becomes a different person, or she becomes Hattie.
Yeah.
And so all that stuff was really fun. We loved doing those storylines. That
awesome.
was a particularly hard one because we had the film from we started at 7 a.m. and we went to you know, 9, 10, 11 p.m.
Wow.
Same with Princess Gina, because there was so much involved with that storyline that it took forever. And just so your listeners and your audience knows, when we did the soap, we filmed an episode in one day.
Right.
Meaning that if you were doing like a CSI New Orleans or something, that takes about a week and a half to film. You know, this show, we couldn't afford to make mistakes in the dialogue or everything because it's like, move on.
Yeah.
Move on. We got a show to do in one day.
Yep.
So it was like, it almost was like live theater.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
really couldn't afford to make, and sometimes you goofed up on the line and they kept it in because they had to move along, you know.
Yep. I remember when I was sick from school one time when I was younger. It was in 95, I believe. And I remember my mom watched Days. She doesn't watch it anymore now, but she watched Days, and she had it on. And I just came downstairs from my room and I'm like, what are you watching? She's like, Days of Our Lives. And I'm just like looking at it to see what it is. And I remember the first thing I seen was Marlena turning into a panther. And I'm thinking, oh, that's so cool. And I just watched the rest of the episode with my mom, and she explained the storyline to me and everything. And then I told her I had to go to, I was feeling better the next day to go to school. I'm like, Mom, tape, back when VHS taping was a thing. And I'm like, Mom, tape these for me.
You got hooked.
I got hooked. And I remember that was the first storyline that got me hooked. And the first thing I really remember, like to this day, of really seeing outside of that was the Salem Stalker storyline. And I remember the first thing I saw was, this is just from what I remember because I was still young. And I remember that Cassie fell out of the piñata.
Right.
Yep, out of the piñata on Thanksgiving Day parade. Yep.
Right. That's right. Yeah. No, you know who also gets hooked on the show? College kids.
Yep.
They love Days of Our Lives. They love soaps. But they
absolutely. That's what actually around when I went to college for my first college I went to. So I went to 2 schools for 2 different degrees. And when I went to my first college, I actually was so busy with school that I actually lost track of it all. When I got back into it, I'm like, who are these people? I can remember some of them. I think it was around 2008, 2009 when I ended up when I was busy with my schoolwork and everything. And eventually I did tape them all, but it's like it was so much to catch up on, you know, like by the time I just lost track of it. And but I mean, I love Days, and like your character always makes me laugh, and it's just, I don't know, just he was so cool.
I get that a lot. I get people coming up and saying you made me laugh on the show. That's the reason I got into show business, Scott.
Right.
I wanted, like I said, Peter Sellers, Cary Grant, the funny guys, Steve Martin. I always I wanted to, I mean, I do drama, and I
Yeah.
do a lot. I did a lot of drama in my
Yeah.
career, but comedy is my love, is my
Nice.
passion.
Nice.
And what they would do on the show was they let me rewrite. They tried to write it funny, and sometimes they did, and sometimes I said, "Can I switch the lines here?" And so
Mhm.
I basically started writing quite a lot of my own
Right.
dialogue in the scene, and
Nice.
I had to go run it by the actors, Teo and
Mhm.
Joe Mascolo and Will Teo, whoever was I was working with.
Right.
But I wrote a lot of it, and they let me do it. They were
Nice.
really cool. The writers were like, they came up to me during the NBC party, and they said, "We're fans, man. It's like keep going, keep writing that stuff because
Right.
we love it." They secretly were comedy fans too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people did like the Salem Stalker storyline because it was shocking who was next to die. But
Right.
then when they
Next guy,
revealed they
right.
were all alive on Molossawind, New Salem backwards, they're like, oh, then that's when it all went downhill for a lot of people. To me, I love that arc. I thought that was really clever. So how was that set made? Do you remember of the island and the volcano scenes?
I don't. God, it's been so long,
I
Scotty.
know.
I don't remember. I know that they put in a lot of hard work. I did lots of island scenes. I know that we
Mhm.
had a whole separate set with water
Yeah.
and everything. Once I was on a boat with Willute and
Nice.
rowing away. You know
Nice.
what I mean? So
Yep.
we had a tank, a water tank is
Hmm.
what we had.
Okay.
And
Nice.
and in terms of what you just said, yeah, it's like on the Dallas thing, where JR didn't
Hmm.
really die, he didn't really
Yep.
get shot. It's like a lot of people want a
Mhm.
finale. It's like they want a payoff, not that they were watching something that really didn't mean
Right.
anything, or there was no consequences. They
Yep.
wanted somebody dead.
Yep. And Teo actually expanded a lot on that, where basically they all these veteran actors were supposed to be, and like the people that were killed off were supposed to be gone.
They're supposed to be
And
gone, right?
yeah, and then because they filmed so much in advance, those scenes they ended up when they were getting killed off, the fans were getting mad that they're killing all the veteran actors off, and they had to figure a way to bring them back.
And so that was the way they did it.
And that's how they did it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I remember. Yeah, that's what happened. I mean,
Yep.
there were times when I felt bad because it's like, wow, this person was on the show for so long
Yeah.
and they're gone now, but they weren't,
Yep.
and the
Yep.
actors didn't know that at the
Yep.
time either. We didn't know that. We thought they
Yep.
were really gone. We said goodbye. We had
Yep.
celebrations on the set,
Right.
the show, and
Yep.
so
Uh,
it all was
Yeah.
a fake.
And I honestly think even the writing team thought they were gone at the time until it
Yeah,
started airing, because that's the plan.
that was the plan, to like kill people off and bring in a new set.
Yep.
But soap fans are very loyal, and as you noticed,
Hmm.
they brought back a lot of characters from the past on the
Right.
show now, and
Yep.
they've even got the new Salem show with Bo and Hope back on
Yep.
that again.
Yep.
You know,
Absolutely.
so
And before,
I'm happy in Boston here. I'm in Boston now,
nice.
and I'm doing my own short films, and I'm doing a feature length movie, which
Nice.
a lot of it is about my time on Days of Our Lives.
Nice.
I talk about behind the scenes stuff and how I got killed off
Nice.
in the screenplay. So fans look forward to my feature length movie coming out, and I teach acting here, and I'm a director and a
Hmm.
producer and a writer, so I stay busy here. And I miss the show, but I don't miss it. I love what I'm doing now because in my projects I get to be um, the lead actor, the star,
Hmm.
and I've
Yeah.
always wanted to do that. I had a lot of time playing the supporting role on Days and
Right.
other shows, and now's my time to be the lead, the leading man, if you will.
Right. And I have one more question after
Yeah.
this one. I just wanted to ask you quick about your death scene. How was that filmed and prepped? Like, how was that magic done?
Well, I got there was a what happened. A long story short, Andre gets into a sword fight with
Hmm.
a bad guy, and the bad guy misses trying to stab Andre, and he stabs me.
Hmm.
Actually, I was standing
Yep.
behind him.
Yep.
And so I spent half the day, more than half the day, with the fake sword
Hmm.
coming out here,
Yep.
and going out in the back.
Hmm.
And I mean, it was all way. So when it was then, I already had the sword in my front and my back. But
Nice.
I'll tell you a story about the death scene. Is that I died in Stefano's arm.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Yep.
If you froze up, King.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Froze up on me. But anyway, I died in Stefano's lap, and it was going,
Yep.
But, and I, and I said, I'm doing this for you, sir. Now you're back.
There we go. What happened?
My own mother thought I really died.
Right.
I mean, she felt bad. I mean, I cried too, because then I lost my steady job. You froze up on me again, Scotty.
I can still hear you. I know we're having a thunderstorm.
Anyway. Yes, he's not there.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I heard everything you said. We're having a thunderstorm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got some rain going on here now, but so anyway, I died in Stefano's lap, and my mom cried, and I cried, and Stefano cried, and everybody cried, and I cried because I lost my steady job, and it's hard to get a steady job in Hollywood.
It is.
That show in Burbank, California, and I was on it for 10 years, so I was very lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. So the last question I got for you, I know you wrote a book. Do you want to tell us about the book and where viewers can buy it?
Yes, my book is called The Steve Blackwood Sessions.
Okay.
And you can buy it on, I'm looking around for a copy of it. Hey, here it is, The Steve Blackwood Sessions. It's got reviews. Gerard Butler, Uta Hagen said it's a great book.
Nice.
And you can get it on my website, www.steveblackwood.com.
Awesome.
And I think it's $10 or $15. I personally sign them and send them.
Awesome.
From my house here, so
a
lot of Days fans have got the book, and you don't have to be an actor. It's an acting book. Days of Our Lives star tells the secrets about acting, soaps, and how to succeed in TV and film. But it's a lot about other things too, about life, about my family. There's a lot of stuff. You don't have to be an actor to enjoy it.
Awesome. And I definitely would like to pick up a copy myself. I am an actor. I own my own production company, Gravestone Films. So definitely would love to look at.
I'll shoot one out, and it's on the house for you doing this with me, Scotty.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Scotty. And I really appreciate your time with me today.
Thank you.
And say hello to all your guests in the future, especially if they're from Days of Our Lives.
Awesome. I definitely will. I know I have Brendan Coughlin played Tad T. Stevens. He's going to be coming on within the next week or so. So I'll definitely let everybody know, and I'll let Teo know. I still keep in touch with him. He's a cool dude.
Good. And just send me your address, and I'll send out a book. And if anybody else wants it, I sign them, and I personally, say hello from Bart to you.
Awesome. I thank you so much, Steve. You have a great rest of your day.
You too, buddy. Have a great day.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.